Well, transition.
Well, we do have another movie that definitely blew us away.
Yes, it wasn't an impossible mission to outdo Blown Away.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. We went back to the very first Mission Impossible with the movie that started all, turned Tom Cruise into an action hero and probably upset a lot of.
Although wait, he had Top Gun before that, so.
Well, that's true, yeah. But most of the movies he did, like in the 80s and 90s, were either like they were kind of like melodramas mostly, or chick flicks. He had like A Few Good Men. What was that? Well, Days of Thunder was kind of an action movie, although that was a sports movie. What was the other movie? He did another movie with Nicole Kidman. I can't remember the name of it. It was like he did a lot of there's a reason women fell in love with Tom Cruise, because he was kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio at the beginning of his career, doing a bunch of romantic movies, and then he pivoted away from that to do to do action movies, and then Leonardo DiCaprio kind of did the same thing.
That seems to be a workable career trajectory, I guess, because if you make all the women think you're dreamy, they'll follow you to the action movies, even if they don't usually like action movies.
Right. Yeah. And I actually do remember seeing not this one, but the second one in the theater. And most of the people in the audience were young women. So there you go.
It works.
Yeah. This movie was, I think of all of the movies in this franchise, this one was the closest to what the original television show was like.
And yet, if you took a purist attitude on it, you would be extremely angry.
Yes. Yeah, because the hero from the television series, Jim Phelps.
Wait, hold up. So we are going to assume that this action movie that came out in 1996 is one that you have seen.
Yeah.
If you have not seen it for whatever reason, it is on Netflix. It is worth watching. You will have a good time. It is the type of mindless action movie, so they don't really make successfully anymore.
Yeah.
Actually, no, not mindless. It's pretally mindful, I should say.
Yeah,
it's type of fun action movie that they don't usually make anymore.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, if I remember at the time, this movie was really popular. It did really well, but the big criticism about it was that the plot was too confusing.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not. What?
Well, it is. I will say it is one of those movies that, if you don't watch it from the beginning, if you you can't jump into the middle of it and start watching it.
That's true. This is not one to pick up in the middle of a TV broadcast.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, that's why the second movie had a very simple plot.
Oh, so they dumbed it down.
Yes, it did. Yeah, they did. Well, it was directed by John Woo.
Anyways, so yeah, we are going to be getting into spoilers. You have been warned. Don't hate us if you spoil. If you think, well, I'm just going to keep watching anyway. What harm could there be? The spoilers are going to be fast and immediate.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Back to what Daniel was saying before I rudely cut him off.
Yeah. So Jim Phelps, he was the main character, the main hero in the television series. He was played by Peter Graves, and they actually asked him to come back to reprise the role in this movie, but he turned it down. And the main reason he turned it down was because they turned the character into a bad guy.
Yes, of course. I only know of Peter Graves because he was a bit before my time. He was in Airplane, right?
Yeah, he was the pilot. Yeah,
that's right. I also remember him from a Mystery Science Theater bit where Crow writes a biography of him, and the only thing he ever talks about is the fact that he went to the University of Minnesota. Hello, I'm Peter Graves, and I attended the University of Minnesota. Hello, I'm Peter Graves, and I'm still attending the University of Minnesota.
Yeah. But Jim Phelps in this movie, he's played by Jon Voight. And basically what happens, so the setup of the movie is kind of a typical Mission Impossible story where he gets, Jim Phelps gets the mission. They have to stop a guy they suspect is a double agent from getting a list of covert operatives, and there are two halves of the list. One is the code name or the alias of the undercover operative, and then their real name. Yes, this plot device has been used in other spy movies like Skyfall, and actually I think one of the later Mission Impossible movies did the same. It actually used the same thing. They used a list, but yeah, so they have to prevent this list from getting out into the open. So they're in Prague and at the embassy, and they got to they do their whole setup thing where they're kind of like doing like a heist thing, and of course you've got one of the members of the team, the prominent member of the team, Ethan Hunt, and that's Tom Cruise. And he's the guy who he wears all the latex masks and goes undercover, to pretends to be other people. And in this case, he's pretending to be a senator. And actually, if you spot it closely, that's actually Tom Cruise, just with heavy prosthetics. It's not a different actor,
which is a nice detail.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, all the makeup effects were done by Rob Bottin, who did. He did RoboCop. He did John Carpenter's The Thing, and I think American Werewolf in London, I believe was he did the other werewolf movie with it doesn't matter. But yeah, so they
basically better special effects than you would expect.
Yes, indeed. And so, but then things go horribly wrong on the mission, and the entire team is killed except for Ethan Hunt, and then he goes to meet with his
the wife of Jon Voight,
and the wife of Jon Voight, and so he goes and he meets with like his boss's boss, like Phelps's boss, and he was actually in the character, and the actor was in the other Mission Impossible movie that we watched, not the new one, but the one before it.
Number 7.
Number 7. Actually, there are a lot of references to this movie and that movie.
I hear that number 8 got even more deep in the weeds on the storyline of it.
And then I actually kind of got a spoiler from that movie. I won't tell you what it is in case you're interested in watching it, but yeah, so he meets with him, and then, of course, their mission was basically a setup for another IMF team, the Impossible Mission Force. It was actually watching them because they suspect a member of that team is a mole, working with an arms dealer named Max, and since Ethan Hunt was the only one who survived, or at least they think he's the only one who survived, they suspect he's the mole, and so he has to go on the run to prove his innocence, and he works with Jon Voight's wife character in the movie, and so they basically just kind of set up this whole scheme where he works with he starts working, pretending he's working for Max, who's played by Vanessa Redgrave. And also, real quick note, Vanessa Kirby's character in the more recent movies, the blonde woman, she's the daughter of Vanessa Redgrave's character in this movie.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Sort of funny when she's like the romantic interest, but
yeah.
It reminds me of one of the James Bonds, the one who had the really long run in the 70s and 80s.
Roger Moore.
Roger Moore. I keep thinking Timothy Dalton whenever I think of Roger Moore's name, and I know that's blatantly false because Dalton was only in the one movie, as I recall.
Two.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's right. It was Lazenby who just had the one movie, right?
Right. Yeah, Lazenby had the one movie. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, Moore was talking with the actress who was playing his love interest in his last movie, and they figured out that he could have actually been her grandfather, and that's when he decided to stop making them.
Yeah. Yeah, when
Tom Cruise is not held back by any such thing. Though to be fair, he looks much younger than Moore did at the time.
That's true. Yeah. Oof. But yeah, so he's pretending to work with Max so that he can prove his innocence and find the actual mole. And then that's when he recruits Ving Rhames' character, Luther. And of course, he's aside from Tom Cruise, he's the only actor who's appeared in every Mission Impossible movie.
Which is actually a really big shock to me, just because okay, so I'm not a huge follower of these movies. I've only seen one, whichever one that J.J. Abrams directed, and then 7 for the show.
Okay, yeah.
I cannot tell you how startled I was that Ving Rhames was there from the start, because it had been 30 years since I saw this movie.
Yeah. It's. I think it's because I'm trying to remember. So 96. I think they probably liked keeping him on because just of how his character was kind of almost like a comedy relief. And that might be why they liked having him, just for a little bit of humor. And plus, this movie came out, I think, the year after Pulp Fiction, so everybody remembered him from that. And of course, it also could be too that just a little bit of money there too.
I mean, he's definitely a likable character, and he is. He does feel different enough from Cruise. I did find it funny that from the very start, Ethan Hunt was always like out of step with his commanding organization. So it's always just like, oh, I have to go rogue to save the world again.
Yeah,
first time.
Yeah, the only movie where he doesn't go rogue is actually the second one, and of course in that movie the villain is a rogue agent, so it's just kind of like, all right, well, can't have two rogue agents going after each other.
Have to go rogue to stop the agent who's gone rogue.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, and then the other guy he recruits is Krieger, who's played by Jean Reno, who was Leon the Professional.
Wasn't he also in the Godzilla movie, or am I thinking of a different French actor?
No, he was in Godzilla. Yeah.
I, the man of culture, know him from the American Godzilla movie.
Yes.
I have seen The Professional, but it was a bit awkward, so I don't remember it well.
Yeah, I've seen it once. Yeah, I haven't watched it in a long time. I do remember. I just remember the relationship between him and Natalie Portman's character being really creepy.
Yeah, just a tad.
Yeah.
Oh.
But getting back to this movie, yeah. So he recruits these guys so that he can actually steal the list, because the list wasn't actually stolen. It was a fake. At the beginning of the movie, it was a fake list, and that's where you have the iconic wire scene where he's dangling from the wires, and they copied it in they did that in every single movie.
Yeah, and I gotta say that scene completely holds up. There are so many tense moments in this movie that just like, even knowing, okay, I've seen the movies where the character is still alive 30 years later.
Yeah. And the whole train sequence, at the end.
The train sequence was great too. Yeah. Was this the start of Cruise basically being the American Jackie Chan?
Pretty much, yeah.
Was he doing all of his own stunts in this one, or was that a later development?
No, I think he did all of his own stunts in this one. I know he did in the second one. Like the second one had the famous scene where he's free climbing and oh god, out in Utah. And he did that himself. I think I'm pretty sure he did all of his own stunts in this movie. But yeah, that was it was a pretty intense sequence there.
Yep. And I did notice, and I thought this was really funny, that is that okay? So as they're breaking into the Pentagon to get this information, they need to actually have the parts of the list so they can use it as bait. There is some random agent who is just their butt monkey for it.
Oh yeah,
just gets poisoned and messed with, and I kept waiting for him to say a line. I thought to myself, "Oh man, this poor guy. He is 100% an extra because he never actually says a line." So
yeah,
his character got humiliated, and he didn't even get a voice or a speaking role paycheck for it.
yeah. Although I'm trying to remember, did he show up in the one we watched?
I'm going to admit, I kind of really disliked that one, so it is not stuck in my memory at all.
Yeah, I seem to recall maybe he did, or there was some talk. I can't remember. Yeah, I don't remember that movie very well. Yeah, because like you, I didn't like it very much. But yeah, that's and then they were just like, oh, send him to Alaska. We'll mail him his clothes.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we need to get him out of here. Yes, send him to an observation post in Alaska. We'll mail right now. We'll mail him his clothes.
Yeah,
this movie is pretty funny. In kind of a cruel way usually, but pretty funny.
Yeah. Real quick, I also want to mention that the director on the movie was Brian De Palma, who did The Untouchables, which we reviewed, as well as a slew of other movies. I'm trying to, and if I remember right, I think they did ask him to come back to do the second one, but he turned it down. Not sure why, but he might be one of those guys who just doesn't. One of those directors who's like, "Oh, I don't do sequels.
I don't want to repeat myself."
Yes. But yeah, I mean, this is this is a good little spy action thriller. It's a little dated in a few places, I will say, just because of like the computers that they use and
it's so delightfully 90s.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But yeah, as DB mentioned earlier, it's on Netflix. I believe it might also be on Paramount Plus as well if you don't have Netflix for whatever reason.
Right. If for some reason I don't know, maybe you get Paramount Plus with your Walmart Plus subscription and you don't see the need to pay for Netflix.
Yeah.
But no, there's one thing that I think is very interesting. So Daniel mentioned before that, that they tried to bring back Peter Graves to play his character, and he turned it down because he had been turned into a villain.
Yeah.
This is like, to my mind, the greatest example why, if you're a fan of something, you do kind of have to gatekeep things, or else the elements you don't like don't just go away.
Right. Yeah.
Because like Tom Cruise took over this series.
He did. Yeah.
Any memory of the 1960s original is largely, oh yeah, it's that thing that I've never seen before. That was the basis for that Tom Cruise movie series.
Yeah.
About the character who they made up for this movie. Like, he did not exist in the original.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It was a complete total reboot. Yeah.
Complete total reboot. The hero of the previous series is now a villain. It's like certain series that I'm kind of upset with the way they went with. I kind of have to go after a certain point. Okay, more time has passed with the continuity you don't like than without it. It's not coming back to, like, they're never going to do the reset you want. So just move on.
Yeah.
But that just struck me as the ultimate. Like, this is very well received because I think in the '90s, well, first off, there was, I don't know, like maybe if actually, there's a question. Do you think this movie would have gotten the Midnight's Edge critical drinker treatment if the coming out of this movie and the heyday of Mission Impossible had been 30 years different?
I don't know. It's a good question. Part of me thinks no, just because it's Tom Cruise.
Right. Although I guess like nowadays, like gosh, we don't really have an equivalent to Tom Cruise. A couple of years back, it would have been Chris.
Hemsworth.
Not Chris Hemsworth. Of Star-Lord.
Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Thank you. Yeah. I was getting my Marvel Chris's all jumbled in my mind, and I knew it. But a couple years ago, maybe it would have been Chris Pratt or maybe Jason Statham. None of them. No, okay. So like the scene where he finds out what the scheme was. I can't see any of our current action stars managing to pull off. And that was actually a really cool scene because he is pretending to work out the plot in a way that John Voight's character would like understand.
Yeah.
But like the way that the look of shock on his face and the flashbacks they keep using, you realize he's piecing together what John Voight actually did to them while having to make a face of like hiding what he's figured out.
Right. Yeah. That was a really good scene. Yeah.
Like I can't see a lot of actors being able to pull off that subtlety.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the expression work told you everything you needed to know.
Right. Yeah.
But I could see people who didn't get that. Maybe that's the scene where people would declare the movie confusing.
Yeah. They probably, that scene probably popped up and they're like, what the heck is this all about? Like, what?
Right, he's saying the opposite of what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah.
But definitely worth a watch. I don't know when I'll feel like going and giving the others a shot. An interesting little statistic is that this movie apparently makes Paramount like $10 million a year just by itself.
That doesn't surprise me.
So if you want to know why they put $400 million into the last movie, or whatever crazy amount that was, it's like, well, it's a long-term investment.
Yeah. Yeah, just keep churning out just keep printing money on it. Yeah. Yep. Certainly doing better than Star Trek is now for Paramount.
Well, that's not even fair, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Speaking of not even fair, we don't want to impinge too much on Edwin's stream, so.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I think we've said all we need to say for tonight.
Indeed.